It has been 8 long rounds, but finally we get to see the league leaders in action for the first time. It is Montpellier at home. Stade de France is the venue, and it is the Guardians of the Crib, the visiting side, coming to spoil the top of the table party. Hello everyone and welcome back along to your home of rugby. We are in round 8 of the Global Rugby Challenge, and finally we get to see the power of Montpellier in the flesh. They are hosting the Guardians of the Crib, and this is a game we've been looking forward to for a very long time. Let's have a look at the two sides involved in this big round 8 clash between Montpellier and the Guardians of the Crib. And there's little surprise at why the side is performing so well in the GRC this season. You look at their recent results, and it's been their only loss of the year was 3 rounds ago. They still sit first, but they are on a 6-win, 1-loss record. But it is that big loss they suffered to Leinster 3 rounds ago, 21 points to 8. That will be the massive blip on their radar. Since then, though, they've stormed back with a vengeance, taking out the Scarlets 43-13 and the Emirates Lions 46-15. So these guys are no strangers to scoring tries, and they are no strangers to getting the job done. And again, there's no surprise why when you look through this backline, especially at how powerful they can be. Ruben Pienaar will be in the halves of Aaron Cruden, World Cup winning fly half. Into the midfield, and it's all South African affair there with Francois Steyn alongside Jan Serfontein. The wingers, oh my goodness, they are deadly. Nemani Adolo will be on the left side, and Tamosi Gusa will be on the right. It's a Frenchman, Benjamin Fall, who will be at fullback, completing a very dangerous and exciting looking backline. The pack, though, has certainly got a few strengths of its own as well, and it's the Duplessis brothers who will line up together in the front row. Bismarck at hooker and Iani on the tight head side. The rest of the pack looks very strong as well. Ludovic will be in the second row alongside Willemse, and then it is an all-French combination in the back row of Kamara, Ouedraogo and Picamoles at 6, 7 and 8. Again, little wonder why these guys are top of the table. It is a super looking side, and they look to be very dangerous, but can they foot it with the subscriber sides? That's what we find out today. The Guardians of the Crib are the guinea pigs of the season so far, and they will be the first ones to take on Montpellier. Now, their team has travelled not so badly recently. They're getting victories, which is the main thing about it, but they're not doing it with too much ease over the last couple of weeks especially. 2 rounds ago it was a tough game, and it was that Leinster side that has beaten Montpellier that the Guardians took down. 21 points to 14. That was a massive win for this side. They backed it up then with a squeaky win over the Scarlets, a team that is not playing their best rugby this season, but it was only 14 points to 7. The Guardians put that one away. That will cause them a little bit of concern going into today's matchup. They have a very similar record to Montpellier. It's just bonus points ultimately that separate these sides. Sitting in 5th, the Guardians, they've got a long way if they want to jump into number 1 spot. The team for today is as strong as it gets. They have thrown out all the stars for this matchup, and we'll have a look at them now, and you can decide for yourself how this team is going to gel. The front row has been consistent and strong all season long. Ray Allenson will be alongside Mike Hunt, the captain, and Isaac Fishure on the tight head side. Michael Shepherd will be alongside Liam Hacker in the second row, with Luke de Normanville being on the blind side of the back row. Alfonso Gill, the hero of a couple of rounds ago, on the open side, and the big man, the strong running Kieran Jones, will be at number 8. Leo Bloomfield gets a nod in the number 9 jumper, and his halves partner will be Lewis Gardner. It's a Gardner affair, as we have Heston Gardner on the left wing as well. The other wing will see Daniel Fishure, the other combination of the Fishure brothers. Tom gets to fullback, and in midfield it's a playmaking combination of dreams with Don Butler alongside Louis Evans. How about that 10-12-13 combination between Gardner, Butler, Evans, and you throw in fullback Tom Guest there as well. These guys got options to really play make everywhere they go. Can it gel though? Will it stay together? We find out over the next 80 minutes as the Guardians have thrown all their eggs into this one big basket. All set to get the game underway. The Guardians will have the ball in hand first. They'll be kicking off to the 2-tone blue of Montpellier. It will be the ball in hand of Lewis Gardner with a strong breeze coming from his right hand shoulder. and it'll be slightly favouring the Guardians in the first 40 minutes as well. We look ready to go. The referee gives the captains to go ahead and blows his whistle. Underway we go for round 8, and the Guardians of the Crib kick long, looking to put early pressure here on the league-leading Montpellier side. Into their 22 they go, and looking to exit now, it's Pinar that goes away to Aaron Cruden, who quickly exits out of his 22 and down to the 10-metre line in his own half. And that was a simple, very quick play from Montpellier as they look to get this one off to a good start for them. It's Mike Hunt, the captain, who will throw it for the Guardians, and he's got options everywhere. He goes to the front and it's missed. That's a bit of a concern for them as it's picked up from Kieran Jones, who fires it out to Lewis Gardner. And he runs straight to the line. All turned over. Great work there coming from Kamara. And they come out wide. Here's a chance. Sofontaine beats two. Sofontaine all alone in front of the sticks. Great tackle the back. Heston Gardner saves the day for the Guardians. Pick and go. Pinar round the corner. Numbers out wide. They want them. Can't get it away. And Tom Guest turns over. He runs away now. And it is action-packed in the first few seconds as Guest kicks this long. Foot races there. And it will dribble along the sidelines. Great kick from Tom Guest. Chance for a turnover. There's Kieran Jones. He's right there. Guardians pile on in. This could be huge. Big turnover. Here come the Guardians. And it's a try. First try of the game. It's going the way of the Guardians. And it's going the way of Alfonso Gil. My word, take a breath. Let's go back just a few seconds ago when it was Francois Steyn down the other end all alone with Nagusa outside him. And it should have been the opening try to Montpellier. Somehow, Alfonso Gil has turned it all the way around to score in the opposite end. Take nothing away from the fullback's work here for the Guardians of the Crib. And that is Tom Guest, who's put that perfectly to his boot. He couldn't have dreamt of a better kick than that. And it set up that counter-rucking, which gave them the ball straight back. Kieran Jones, the big lad, and he got their second man to the breakdown, which proved very crucial in the Guardians getting that ball back. What a start. Now, I thought Montpellier were going to score. How about that turnaround as the conversion coming in from Lewis Gardner is on point. And over it goes, 7-0. Guardians of the Crib lead Montpellier, but the confidence, well, I don't know if it should be that high because they were torn to shreds by Montpellier straight off the kickoff. Ruck turnover from Kamara, almost put them in. So away we go yet again. Pinar kicks high this time into the Guardians territory, and it's Dom Butler having a bit of a run now. Butler looking for the corner, kicks ahead, and it's a big chase out wide. The wind holds it in nicely, and this may go too deep. It does. So a plan is certainly in action for the Guardians of the Crib. It is all about territory. And that is the big battle at the moment. They are kicking at every option. But no surprise here to see Montpellier going for the scrum.
Set.
And look at Michael Shevin. He's really holding that up in the middle of that pack. It's fed in from Ruel Pinar. And waiting for it to back is, of course, Louis Picamoles. Again, another strong runner. How about that? Kieran Jones up against Louis Picamoles. Just inside the Guardians' half. They go straight out to first receiver Aaron Cruden, who hits the gain line, puts a bit of pressure on the defensive line. Here's Linovic getting Osborne wider too. Steyn getting it out there to Sofontaine. He's on the line again. There goes to on support. Doesn't find him. And the right wingers certainly could have had a bit of action in this half already. But he's just not received the ball, and the Guardians' defence is forcing them towards the touchline. Last line out was a bit dysfunctional. This one just as bad. Hunt comes away with it, and Butler turns the corner with it, and he thumps it away into touch just inside his 22. I think the line out was. And de Normanville reluctantly gives him the high five. Yes, it goes down to the 10-metre line. Montpellier side of halfway. 7-0 the score. The line-out's working well, so they go to Linovic at the front, and he sets it up nicely for the French clubbers. Now, they look to use it. Yanni Duplessis goes out to Picamoles, who pops it back inside until it's up and takes it straight into contact. And so now Nagusa, he's got the ball in hand. That'll be good for him as well as Steyn goes back to Cruden. And no one can quite find a way through that Guardians defence this time. Pinar, he'll change directions. No, he doesn't. That's a terrible run there from the scrum half. Puts him under huge pressure. But they do somehow come away with it. Kamara going out to the left-hand side. Yanni Dupsy once more, giving it to Nemani Nadolo. Up against Fasore. And that is a great tackle coming in from the right winger, Daniel Fasore. No one's here for Montpellier. And finally, it's Bismarck who gets it away nicely to Paul Willemse, who's pretty much just trundled straight to the first defender. You can see now there's a bit of action on the short side as Pickamoles has a pick and go. But he's dragged into touch by the Guardians' defence after a hectic start to this one. It has taken it down just a notch. We are 30 minutes into this game. Can you believe it? It's a line out for the Guardians. Once again, it's terrible. De Normanville's pass is shocking, and it goes back to Gill. The try scorer has another stab. Just inside the half as Hackett gets a nice ball away. And here's De Normanville. He's got spot there from Lewis Gardner. Gardner's got man way out wide. Gives it to Evans. And Louis Evans will be in. Oh, that is a real blow. That is a huge blow to Montpellier. Simple work from the Guardians of the Crib. And Louis Evans scores their second try. Much simpler than the first. And what's happened to Montpellier here? De Normanville did brilliantly, and then it was a great work from Lewis Gardner. A pinpoint pass, and not the quickest man in this back line is the outside centre, Louis Evans, but a great finish in the corner nonetheless. Just what they needed. Haven't had a huge amount of chances with continuous possession, but that will take them to a 12-0 lead. Confidence will be sky high as well. And this is a man here, Lewis Gardner, that really created that chance. And an opportunity to take it up to 14-0 as we head to the halftime break. It's been a game, one would say, dominated in possession by Montpellier, but dominated in chances taken by the Guardians of the Crib. They've got no right to be in this position. But when you don't finish your dinner, the dog's going to come clean up, and that is exactly what the Guardians are doing. They need some finishing touches, Montpellier. They need to get the ball into Negusa's hands a bit more because he's been way out on the wing all alone, and they've just not put him into opportunities. There's a good tackle there. That is a great tackle there. And De Normanville's gone flying backwards, and Montpellier charge over. Now's the chance. Pinar goes back. Great ball. Wadago. Inside pass is almost there. Pickamoles was right on the shoulder. Halftime sinks. Is there time for one little play for the French boys? Got the ball back again. Cruden, a little grubber kick through, and that is terrible. But they won't get to release it though. Montpellier pile on in, but it will be the Guardians who will fire it back, and it's there for Heston Gardner, who we've not talked about all day long so far. That hammers it into touch. And we will head to half-time with the Guardians surviving that one by a whisker. Question marks putting there over Aaron Cruden in the little grubber kick with time running out. That is half-time. An epic matchup that's not reflected fully on the scoreboard. 14-0 is a half-time score, and the Guardians of the Crib are doing it, well, some may say by looking at that, pretty easily, but it's not the case. However, Montpellier a lot less the ball, but they're doing it at periods at a time. The Guardians having to really fire on some poor set piece, definitely getting dominated at the lineouts. They're not putting those chances away at all. Territory's been fairly even, but it's the chances finish that is letting the home side down. You can see in line breaks, both sides have had 3 apiece, yet it is 2 tries to nothing. Montpellier need to clean that up. They need to get the ball in hand. No more silly kicks from Cruden, and get it into the hands of their midfield as well. Serfontaine and Stein are cleaning up. They need those guys to get the ball more often in the second 40 if they don't have any chance to keep hold of that number 1 spot. We'll get back to the action right now. The teams are making their way back out for the second half. It's 14-0. It's Guardians of the Crib over Montpellier. So it'll still be the scrum half for Montpellier to kick off. Ron Pinard keeping those duties over Aaron Cruden as it's still Normanville once more. That takes it in, and again it's pressure on the back rower. He could lose his pill again, not for the first time tonight. Just hangs on, waiting for it. There is Leo Bloomfield. He gives it away to Daniel Fasore. He's going to look for the safety officer. Territorial bats. Oh, that's a good kick. Always shaping to kick there for Fasore. Got the ball in a standing position, and he just eked out a few metres and puts pressure now on Montpellier inside their 22. They've got a lead. They just need to hang on to it. Their line out has been a shambles, so they need to sort that out. To the back they go. Redago does very well. Giving it to Cruden, who's more than happy at the moment. Just kick this one downfield and put the Guardians back in their own half by a metre or two. Simple game plan by these two sides. It is all about territory. But the way that this line out's been going for the Guardians, the Crypt, there's a chance they could steal this one. No, they go to the back very nicely as well, and it's taken by Alfonso Gil, and he gets in a bit of trouble here, but it's there for Kieran Jones, who pops it short to Michael Shepherd, who has a bit of a rumble through the middle, but he stops the ball. Great work there, turned over by Pickamoles. Now the offload game comes out for the home team. Pinar picks it, goes very wide, straight to Stain. Stain's through, real chance for Montpellier. Stain against Guess, and Guess eventually shadows him into the corner and puts him on the ground. Real opportunity now, just 7 metres short. It's there for Yanni Duplessis. He's got numbers, he's got it away, and a try! Oh, that's brilliant! As Kamara! And the back rower, who has been a terror, and the breakdown is now a terror on the scoreboard. Exceptional work by the blindside flanker. Look at this quick ball. Yanni Duplessis, look at him trudge over. How about this work? Up against this opposite number and the fan. Oh, beautiful. Getting away from the desperate attempt of Don Butler. No chance for the little backline players who even challenge the power of the big back rower. Kamara is all about this. Great work. And a splendid try that we have been waiting very patiently for from Montpellier. Well, Aaron Cruden not even getting a look in for any of these kicking duties at the moment. Ruben Pinar's got these down pack at the moment. A tough kick from way on the right-hand side. He composedly slots it all with absolute ease. He took it so softly and it just drifted in between the uprights, and the scoreboard is halved 14-7. Montpellier have arrived. They threatened for the first half, but now we're in the second. It is a game on, fair game for everyone. Lewis Gardner gets us back underway, and he goes to the left-hand side, holds it up in the wind, holds it up very well, but it's taken extremely well, and here it goes. It's another chance for Kamara. It's the other ball from Cruden. A very good kick-off taken. It's stolen from Jones. Here's for Shore. And it's a forward pass. Oh, that is an error. And it's advantage with the home team if they want to use it, as Redago goes into contact of the little run from Francois Stain. Oh, great ball. Aaron Cruden. Now he's in behind them, and it's advantage over for the home team. And it's a great ruck battle at the moment, and the Guardians turn it over. This is what it's all about at the moment. Here's Evans, who Evans straws and passes away to Daniel Fasore. He's got one to beat. Fasore gets away from him. Ankle tap by the second, looking for the third. Great run there from Fasore, but a great try-saving tackle there over the defence as well. It's out, Alfonso Gil. Big pass wide to Normanville, looking to step to Normanville, looking to fan to Normanville. Oh, miraculous work. Luke de Normanville scores, and that is what the Guardians are all about. Not very often you see a man who plays in the front row and the back row to put on a big planted step like that, then put the power game on and go through the last defender. Terrible work there from Nadola on full. That was what created it. Poor defence, and you got that little man there. They really didn't take him for the full quid, and he went straight through. Excellent work here. Oh, there's not many people that can put Nemani Nadolo flat on his face like that. And then Benjamin Forwell, he went for the Hail Mary dive tackle, didn't he? And to Normanville, he was having none of it. Great try for the Guardians. And that does really cement a good lead for them now, heading into the last quarter of this match. A kick right out front should be no problems here for the Guardians fly half. Lewis Gardner, who has been exceptionally on good form in recent weeks as well, and he continues that here today. Another conversion has got. It's 21-7 Montpellier. Work to do in the final 20 minutes. They've got a good 60 minutes so far, Montpellier. Against the lesser side, they'll probably be leading this one quite comfortably, but against the Guardians, who are having a very good match-up, it's not the case here at all. It's a try scorer, de Normanville, who takes it up, and Gill, he's like, I don't want a piece of that. He's got to out Heston Gardner, who's going to try his luck in a big one-on-one tackle. But Nagusa more onto that than he expected, and probably they should have looked for the kick, whether it had been from Alfonso Gill or not. to put them under pressure inside their own half. So we can hear the final 10 minutes of the game. Bismarck du Plessis to throw, and he's really taking his time about this one as well. So I see the front of the village takes it in for the home seat. And a good maul as well. This is very good at the moment from Montpellier. They're charging forward, and it's taken an age for the Guardians to get involved. Now they're going to Dolo. He gives it away nicely, and it's a good run from Jan Fontaine. Chance for a turnover there, but no one wanted to jump in. It's a real opportunity now. They want to go left side. Make an elevator. Bismarck du Plessis. He could go. Just short. Montpellier right there. They turn around the corner, and Jan Fontaine gets a deserved try. Beautiful work from the big veteran, Bismarck du Plessis, who thunders through defenders like they were nowhere to be seen. Big Kieran Jones tackle, and then it was a big support as well. Pinard turned around the corner. Sir Fontaine read it like a book, and it was on a silver platter for the outside centre. Superb work there from Bismarck. Kieran Jones went to get over the top, but he was blown off it completely by about 5 Montpellier players who just blitzed that ruck and just turned it over with absolute ease. Ruan Pinard now with an important kick. Every kick so far is important as well. This will keep them within 7, and bonus points, obviously, all very important. As that one started a bit to the right, but it come back nicely to the left and calmly went between the uprights. It's 21-14. The difference is 7, and we have just 7.5 minutes remaining. Last thing we want here is another draw. We've had a few of those throughout the season as well, haven't we? Quickly underway goes Lewis Gardner, and he kicks this one long. Kieran Jones gives a valiant chase and takes on the first attacker he sees, and it's a good one there on Francois Stein, and he puts it down in his 22, sets it up for Picamoles, who's got just a very good work as well. It's a breakaway. It's Nagusa. He's only got best to beat. Nagusa's stepping, he's dribbling, he's finding a way through, but he's going to lose this ball. Leo Bloomfield turns it over, and he's in a bit of trouble here as well. He's lost it. That is a terrible place to lose the ball. There's just 3 minutes to go. It is Montpellier with a big opportunity now to do something special. But Dago tries to go through himself. Big chance for a turnover is denied. And now it is there with Stein. Great offload to Cruden. He's beaten them again. Cruden going to the corner. Aaron Cruden will score. Montpellier, they're back. They'll save it. Kick to come. Oh no, another draw. It is absolute bedlam here as the home team score late to save their chances. Aaron Cruden, what a superstar. Francois Stein with a beautiful ball back. Cruden steps one. He dummies Guess in the back, and the Guardians could go away with another draw. We've seen so many. The Dragons, of course, drew 2 games at the start of the season. That step, magic from Aaron Cruden to step 2 defenders with one simple play. And the offload, of course, from Francois Stein was magical. We won't get a restart. This one's done and dusted. 80 minutes was up when Cruden went over. And Ruan Pinard will have the chance to tie it all up. There goes the buzzer. Here comes Pinard. And it's as good as you like. Over it goes. 21-21. That'll be all she wrote. Well, Montpellier came here with all the pressure of the competition to perform. They've been top of the table for a long time, and they have certainly put their doubters to bed with a good performance against the Guardians. Yes, it's not a win, but you can certainly tell yourself it is not a loss to Montpellier at all. 3 tries, 3 conversions, and if there was one team that dominated that final 20 minutes, it is the home side. Montpellier were perfect in executing that last stanza of the game when the Guardians would have loved a penalty, would have loved a drop goal, would have loved a little bit more ball. They were shut out. No chance whatsoever of getting the ball back. In 2 tries, Sir Fontaine and Cruden, that put them back on even terms. Kamara got the earlier try in the first half, and that was their 3. Ruan Pinard, perfect from the tee as well. As for the Guardians, well, they've well and truly been tested now. They managed to just sneak over past Leinster, but they weren't able to do the same against Montpellier. Denilmanville, Gill and Evans were the try scorers, and it was Lewis Gardner, 3 out of 3 from the tee. A perfect night for him as well. Let's have a look at some stats, and boy oh boy, there is a big change around that possession stat, isn't there? It was dominated from the Guardians in the first half, but Montpellier have had their own share of fun in the second, and it goes to show you that if they play 80 minutes of rugby, there is no team in this league that will beat this Montpellier side. Territory is pretty even as well, but have a look at that third line. Now, it was 3-3 at the halftime break. Yes, 3-3 in line breaks. Second half, 6-1. 6-1, I repeat, Montpellier, 6 line breaks to just 1 by the Guardians in the second half. That, my friends, is what this matchup was all about. 14-7 in the first half to the Guardians, 14-7 in the second to Montpellier. That equals us another draw for the Global Rugby Challenge. What an effort by the Guardians, but Montpellier not to be outdone. No penalties in this one. It's a real change because we've had a lot of penalties in these matches, but Montpellier, how good were they in that second half? They really are a danger. They are the real deal. Well, folks, tell me something. Did you expect that meeting between those two sides? Another draw, and you can look through that leaderboard and you can see Carstrays have got 1. The Flakers have 2. The All Flakes and the Guardians now have 1. The Dragons have 2 and Montpellier have 1. That is a whole pile of draws. So what is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 draws. That's 4 matches that have been drawn in this season in 8 rounds. That is astronomical by the sides this season. Montpellier hold on to that top spot by not suffering defeat, and they sit up there 3 points ahead of the Celtic Dragons and the Guardians of the Crib. But of course, the Guardians have played equal matches. The Dragons now stand the best chance to go top of the table if they can win their round 8 clash. The All Flakes and the Flakers sit down on 26. The Flakers obviously having a poor result in the last round as well. That hasn't helped their cause as they now sit in that 5th position. It is all changing. It is all topsy-turvy as Leinster and the Exeter Chiefs, even the Crusaders and Carstrays, now sit down there rubbing their hands together at the prospect of Montpellier picking up wins against the subscriber sides. We haven't had a fixture go through since that matchup, and you can see it as Carstrays over Saracens 32-12. But Montpellier, how good were they? Just denying the Guardians any way of shutting that game out. They scored that 3rd try just before the 60-minute mark, and that was it. That was the last we seen of the Guardians. They could not get themselves back in that game. They needed a penalty, they needed a drop goal. Montpellier needed a try, and Aaron Cruden, boy oh boy, did he deliver. Further rounds for this matchup, further matches for this round, I should say. Scarlets are up against the Dragons, Crusaders, Flakers, and Leinster All Flakes. 3 big matches as well to round out round 8, so make sure you stay tuned for those ones. But boy, Montpellier, they are as good as we thought, aren't they? And we can look forward to them going up against the Dragons in round 9. Then we can look forward to them going up against the All Flakes in round 10. And then finally, they will take on the Flakers in the final round of the competition. There is some rugby still to be played, so there's no guarantee any of those sides in the top 5 will finish where they are, because it is way too tight to say that just yet. And you can say those teams in 6th, 7th, and 8th, even 9th, are still within a good chance if the top teams drop some matches, because they have all played the subscriber sides enough. So there we go. It is all up in the air. How do you think about that, Guardians fans? Do you think you're going to go into that and pick up a win? Montpellier, very good towards the end, and another really odd and disappointing draw where the Guardians just could not put themselves in any position to get that victory. That is it for the opening match of round 8. I'll see you again very soon for our second game. The Dragons up against the Scarlets. That one should be probably not as close as we saw from Montpellier and the Guardians, but boy, I think we've been a bit enlightened as to what our table-topping AI side can do. So make sure if you're in the future matches against them, you're at the top of your game. The Guardians couldn't do it, but we'll see if the others can do it in future rounds. I'll see you all next time for the Dragons versus the Scarlets. Until then, thanks for tuning and watching, and of course, see you in the next matchup. Take care.